Hi, Sandra here, the Misophonia therapist. And today's question is, have you decided to not have a relationship or have children because of your misophonia? Now, I was recently speaking to somebody who said that she had desperately wanted these things, but she was single and was absolutely terrified that any future partner would trigger her misophonia, and indeed any future children. So she really wanted children, but had just decided that the risk of her being triggered was just too high. And I told her that she certainly was not the first person to have taken this decision, and it really hit a nerve. So to have choices and options erased from your life like this, in this way, is not dissimilar to being held hostage or imprisoned, even if you're the person who's making that choice. So has misophonia stolen your freedom of choice? And have you allowed this to happen? So freedom to choose whether or not to find love or to have children is crucially important to so many people. Of course, there are millions of people who do choose not to have children or relationships. That's not really the point of this video. What I'm talking about here is denying yourself or avoiding these opportunities for happiness when you know it's what you want. So one of the most frustrating features of misophonia is when it is at this level of severity and the lengths people will go to avoid being triggered. So to be in a position where you are not in control of your life really is the most disempowering feeling. And it's quite ironic because the woman I was talking to was desperately trying to control the uncontrollable. So what might happen, what might not happen in the future? So denying herself motherhood, which is, of course, what she wanted, because of something that she was predicting might happen. And of course, she could have very well met a nice person to have a relationship with. They may have triggered her. They may not have done. They may have triggered her, and she might have found that she coped better than she thought she would, as most of us do. She was just guessing. That's the sad part of all of this. But then, of course, the strangest thing happened. I asked her to imagine for a moment that she didn't actually have misophonia. I just said, just talk me through how your life might be different. So would you be making different choices? What choices might you make? And I fully expected her to say, well, I'd be signing up to the dating sites. I'd be getting myself out there, meeting new people, getting a haircut, some new clothes, imagining myself with the perfect person and looking forward to starting a family at some point. But she didn't. She said, well, there is absolutely no way I would want to be in a relationship. I'm actually quite happy being single. Nobody to please but myself. And kids cost money. They never leave home. I got a friend of a friend of a friend whose 35-year-old son is still living at home, doesn't pay a penny toward the keep. And where would I start? I haven't dated in years. I am terrified. So this was quite illuminating, if that's the right word. So of course, yes, misophonia and the terror of being triggered can certainly hold many people back, where you live a life filled with restrictions and avoidance. So you're not pursuing the life choices that you know would ultimately lead to you being fulfilled. But maybe if you thought about this a little deeper, is misophonia really the problem? It's just a thought. Just because you have misophonia doesn't mean you need to deny yourself, of course. And if you didn't have it, would you still be denying yourself? It's always good to ask yourself these kind of open, honest questions. And this is really what therapy is all about. It's not really about exposing yourself to triggers or trying to imagine yourself coping better with triggers or hoping for some magic cure. It's just looking honestly about what really might be holding you back. And of course, as I've said in many videos, my belief is that misophonia starts in the subconscious mind as some form of protection. It can be very complex, but what it does is it can often keep us trapped in our comfort zones. And there's one thing about part of your subconscious mind that wants you to be safe, is that it wants you to stay put. Okay, so anything that's going to make you get out there, live your life, is going to send it into a massive wobbly. Anyway, I hope you found this video interesting. Hopefully, if you're watching this and it has triggered some feeling within you, if you identify or resonate with this, the pain of denying yourself because of this terrible condition, please DM me if you think you might like to ask me any more questions or if you think I could help. Thank you.